Good morning, Dream Life creators. I'm Melissa and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever in the world that you're watching from. I thought I would film a little morning motivation for you. Maybe you can watch it with your breakfast or your cup of coffee or before you get started on your day. And this video is specifically for any of you who have been really struggling with procrastination and finding a way to overcome your procrastination that works, that you can stick with. I definitely have experienced the frustration of procrastination and the things that it can prevent you from actually achieving in your life, and the habits, the positive habits that it can prevent you from forming. And I think one of the most frustrating aspects of procrastination is, I don't know if you've experienced this, but when you actually witness yourself procrastinating. Like, you're aware that you're procrastinating, you know that it's what's going on right now, and it almost feels like you still can't make yourself take the action. And I think that's just something that can be so tricky. But I I listened to an audiobook recently that was super packed full of information on procrastination and really was very eye-opening. And so I wanted to share some of the info in that book with you. I do recommend listening to it. It's called The Procrastinator's Handbook by Rita, Emmett. And she's actually got quite a few personal development books that I've listened to on Scribd before. And if you've never heard of Scribd, it's the app that I use to listen to all of my audiobooks, and they also have like PDF copies of books on there as well. I'm in love with it. It's like, I think $8.99 a month, and it's my favorite. I put it on all the time, no matter what I'm doing. If I'm washing my dishes, I'm listening to an audiobook. I just thoroughly enjoy it and highly recommend it. Okay, so something that I want to share with you in this video is the reasons of procrastination that Rita Emmett gave, because I found them to be really helpful. And when it comes to making positive change in any area of your life, knowing what you're doing, like understanding your own behavior, understanding your own thought processes and your beliefs and how they affect, the actions that you take or don't take. I think that's a really important part, because when you understand the inner workings of your own mind and you understand yourself better, then you can kind of see things more clearly and then make better decisions for yourself. So I hope that this is going to be helpful for you. One is perfectionism. Now, I find that this one's kind of like a paradox. You'd think, well, if someone's a perfectionist, doesn't that mean that they're constantly working at things, and why would they procrastinate? It kind of seems like perfectionism and procrastination would be opposites. And she gives a really good example in this audiobook. One of her clients is a woman, and she says that her house is constantly a mess, but she has this perfectionism in her mind that she really wants to have a neat and tidy house, but everything is completely messy. And then so Rita is saying, well, how is that possible if you're a perfectionist? What I just said basically. And her explanation of this was that as a child, her mother told her that if you're going to clean your fridge, you need to take every single thing out and you need to disinfect everything and you need to let all of the drawers soak for an hour, and it has to be this huge process that's going to take half of a day. And she kind of thinks that about everything. Like, if you're going to clean your floors, you need to dedicate half a day to cleaning your floors and do it perfectly. So she has this idea that if you're going to start anything, you better do it perfectly, and you better be able to commit, a day or half a day to just doing each small task. And so she says, I don't even start cleaning my house because I feel like once I start, I have to commit to making it perfect. And that's why things are messy. And I just found that to be really interesting. And I think a lot of us, maybe we don't even start on tasks because we fear our own ideas of perfectionism are going to kind of make us feel that once we've started something, we need to really commit, and that can be overwhelming. And realistically, with cleaning, it doesn't need to be that way. You can take, every time you open the fridge door, you can decide to wipe a different shelf, or you can, take 3 minutes every day to tackle one area of your home. But I can definitely see how having this perfectionism, like either you better do it perfectly or not even attempt to do it at all, I can see how that would really lead you to procrastinating and not taking any action. Can you see any areas of your own life where you have that kind of a mindset where you're like, I feel that this thing that I want to accomplish is such a huge task and I want to do it perfectly, I want to master it, so I'm not even going to start yet. And you kind of procrastinate from even beginning because you have this perfect ideal in your mind of how it has to be, and either it's that way or you're not going to begin at all until you're ready to achieve that kind of perfection. And obviously, you know, what this does is it can waste a lot of time. It can prevent you from even starting. It can also build up the fear of starting even bigger, because, you know, now that 5 years have gone by and I still haven't started that one project I really wanted to achieve, so now your expectations are even higher, and it kind of almost perpetuates this perfectionism. So an action step for this, if you have an area of your life where you can see that, yes, I'm procrastinating because of my perfectionism, is to use the timer method. So set your timer for 15 minutes and say, I'm going to do the best I can, and I'm going to tackle one area of this project for 15 minutes, and then I'm going to stop. And so, maybe do that once a day. Maybe if it is your fridge and you're like, my fridge is a complete mess, I want to have this beautiful looking, tidy and organized fridge, but you keep procrastinating, say, you know what, I'm going to set my timer right now. Let's see if I can tackle one door of drawers in the fridge, or wipe down the containers of things that are in my fridge. And you can use this for anything. Maybe it's for organizing your wallet. Maybe it's you're procrastinating on sending emails to people. Set your timer and just start. Say, I'm going to do what I can, and I'm going to make this 15 minutes of work and effort be the best I can for that 15 minutes, and then that's it. And you'll find that maybe, hey, once you're in the flow, you actually are motivated to continue on, and you are motivated to, keep working on it. But if not, at least you've done the 15 minutes. Now set your timer for tomorrow, the same time if you can, to do another 15 minutes. And if you keep working at different projects, before you know it, you will have completed them. And timers are just amazing. Timers can be such an effective tool for making yourself just do it. Another mental and emotional cause for procrastination, and this one you'll have to really ask yourself and look deep within yourself to see if this is the case for you, is fear of judgment. If you were criticized a lot as a child, or if you feel like you're really, really concerned about other people's opinions, and that means if you take action, if you actually take the action to create something and put something out there and do some work, then that could be setting yourself up for being judged and being criticized. And if that's a big fear of yours, then sure, you're going to procrastinate. You're going to find excuses and reasons why you shouldn't do what you really want to do and what would get you closer toward your highest goals. So maybe you want to start a YouTube channel, and that's a big goal for you, or a blog or a website, and it's something you've been wanting to do for a really long time. Maybe there's a part of you that's procrastinating on taking action toward this because you're afraid of judgment. You're afraid that, what if I put a video out there and people think I'm dumb? People think I'm silly. People think, you're awful at this, or criticize how you look, what you say, what you sound like, and all the other things. And, this is the case for anyone who's creating anything and putting work out there for the other people in the world to observe. Yes, it can be scary, and acknowledge those feelings. Acknowledge that I'm concerned, I'm worried about being judged. I don't want that feeling. I don't want to have to put myself in that position where I could feel bad to hear someone's negative opinion about me. That is totally understandable. The nice side of this is that there's actually kind of a sigh of relief that can come with this understanding of what you've been doing and understanding your own procrastination. You can kind of say, oh, this is why I haven't been recording the music that I really want to create, or this is why I haven't written that book. I'm not just crazy, or I'm not just lazy. It shows you that this is actually what's going on. And so when you're aware of that, you can take some actions, and you can kind of, work through those feelings, and maybe doing some journaling, some self-love work, listening to positive affirmations, speaking positive affirmations out loud, acknowledging the people in your life who are maybe making you feel criticized and judged. And if you have a group of friends who are super gossipy, maybe deciding to step back from that a little bit and surround yourself with people who make you feel encouraged and who compliment you and who uplift you and inspire you. See, once you're aware of what's going on in your life and what roadblocks you have, then you can set out a new navigational system for yourself, because you see the path, you see the obstacles, and you can kind of work your way through them and around them. All right, the next reason for procrastination, this one really got me. Like, this one I could 100% relate to, and I hadn't thought of it before until she said it, and I was like, wow. Like, you know, when you just hear something and it hits you, I'm like, okay, she's right. And it is the fear of doing so well at something and setting the bar so high for yourself that you're expected to constantly hit that level or surpass it. So it's like you're procrastinating. Say you're an author and your first book was so amazing and you just, you're on the New York Times bestseller, and now you have to write your second book, but you're procrastinating because you're afraid that what if I can't live up to that level? What if I succeed so high that the rest of my life I can never live up to that, and I've set the bar too high for myself. So that was a really big one, and I can see how I've done that in my own life, and I can see that kind of how that that feeling can be very powerful. And so maybe that's something that is going on in your own life. Maybe you're thinking, well, I'm starting a new business, and if my new product, if it sells so well, what if I can't fulfill the orders? Or like, what if people like my stuff too much that I can't live up to it, and I don't have the time, I can't give the people what they want, so to speak. That can kind of stop you from actually doing anything, and can be a big factor in procrastination. It's kind of the opposite of the other one. It's the opposite of worrying about being criticized. It's worrying about, what if this means there's going to be too much on my plate and it's going to be overwhelming and I won't be able to manage it all, so I don't do anything instead. So that's a big one for procrastination. Okay, the next one kind of ties into that, and it is the fear of too much responsibility. So say you deep down, you really want to start a new business, you want to open up a store, and you're so excited about it, but you're not sure why you're not taking all the action steps you're supposed to be in order to get to where you need to be. Well, maybe you're worried that if I start this business, if I really go through with this, there's going to be a lot of responsibility on my plate. Am I up for that challenge? And so, maybe that's another one with the clean home. Maybe you're like, if I start keeping my home at this immaculate level of cleanliness, maybe I won't be able to live up to that. Maybe I won't be able to keep up all of this responsibility. Maybe this is just going to be too much for me. So that one is similar to the last one, and it's just about the fear of taking on too much, or the fear of too much on your plate. The last one is, this is another one. Okay, so if you find that you're procrastinating and wasting time, and you can feel that you're kind of taking too long to do jobs that you could get done a lot quicker if you really just focused on it, you might have the fear of finishing. Meaning the fear of, now what? Okay, I finished this book, I finished this project, now what? What if I have nothing else to do? What if I'm bored? What if there's nothing else that's going to fulfill me after I've completed this one project? And so you kind of make things take way longer than they need to, because you don't really have anything else exciting to work on after it. If you do notice that one or several of these causes and contributing factors of procrastination rings true for you, and is something that, yes, maybe this is playing a role in the reason I'm not taking the actions I really want to take, then first of all, I just want to say that's amazing that you're able to be honest with yourself and you're able to recognize these patterns in your own life. That is a really big step in a positive direction. This means that you're really able to take an objective look at your life, and you're able to evaluate things honestly, which means that you're able to make positive changes. Because if you're aware of something, then that means that you're able to take the action steps in changing it. And I have a positive action step for you to take today if you find yourself procrastinating, even if it's on a littlest task and you just feel yourself putting things off that you know would be better done right now. Then I recommend the 5-second rule. This is from Mel Robbins, and she has an amazing book of the same name, which I highly recommend. And it means as soon as you have the impulse that, hey, this is a good idea to do right now, instead of giving yourself a chance to talk yourself out of it and rationalize why you shouldn't take the action, take the action within that 5 seconds. Just begin. So maybe it is that you're looking in your purse and things are all over the place and it's stressing you out and you think, I should really clean this purse. Right then and there, organize that purse. Clear out a space on your desk, put all of the items in your purse out onto it, and take some time. And put some love and care into that process as well. This is not meant to be a punishment for you. So take the time, take it as an act of appreciation for the fact that you're building a new habit, and put love into the action. If it is organizing your purse, be grateful that you have this purse, and maybe give it a nice wipe and clean it, and then take your time organizing it in a way that's going to make sense for you. And remember to always be loving, gentle, and kind to yourself through the process of personal development. I love you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos from me, and I will see you next time. Bye.